Hello class, this is Nicole Morris and I'm going to give a presentation to you all on the Evolutionary Leadership Theory. There are three ways leadership and management theories have evolved that progress around the ideology of psychology. Evolution progresses in leadership styles throughout history, which are progressions that are constant to adaptations as we progress as a modern society. Throughout history, there has been a remarkable evolution in leadership and management theories, spanning from the industrial age to the present. The ideologies surrounding leadership and management have undergone significant development from the industrial era to the present day. Over time, there has been a substantial transformation in the theories related to leadership and management, spanning from the industrial age to present. From the industrial era to present, there has been a notable progression in the theories concerning leadership and its management. Some leadership inequities to consider and how they have progressed over a span of time are autocratic to democratic leadership, human relationship, and the focus of situational leadership. These are just some examples how leadership styles have drastically changed from autocratic to democratic leadership, but they don't represent all of the different leadership styles that have progressed into the modern era. In the prior leadership eras, human rights and involvement in decision-making were not fundamental group efforts, with responsibilities falling entirely on the person in charge, which was predominantly a male role and thus autocratic. Hunt et al. 2018 surmised that the autocratic leadership style has some advantages, including quick decision making and structure. The downfall of autocratic leadership is degrading to those being led, as they have no say, creating a plethora of additional problems, such as lack of trust. As time moved forward, leadership styles started to progress due to the human relations movement and their demand for better treatment from leaders. Still to this day, Americans and fellow humans worldwide constantly push for their people's betterment. There are advantages and disadvantages of any and all leadership styles, and there are several to explore that have evolved or built onto other leadership theories over time. The desire for change inflicted emphasis on human relations, which the main theory behind the ideology of human relationship movement was to understand further the behavioral characteristics of productions rendered by employees. Gerpot et al. 2020 stipulated that the emergence of human relations movement took place during the 1930s with a strong emphasis on recognizing the significance of human needs and relationships within the workplace. It placed great importance on the effective communication, motivation, and leadership approaches aimed at enhancing employee satisfaction and productivity. Moving along, we have focus on situational leadership. As leadership styles progressed forthright into the modernization of leading with purpose versus control, adaptability became a key component. Having flexibility when in a leadership role allows leaders to change with growing times, thus promoting adaptability with the structure of their company. Thomas et al. 2018 affirmed that situation leadership theory is the primary example of leadership development over a span of time, basing adaptation as an initial style of progressions. The reason this approach is evolutionary is through seen progressions as leaders in history did not listen nor communicate with individuals they employed. It was their way or no way based on empowerment and control ideologies. Examining the points of similarities and differences in the various approaches used in psychology, management, and leadership, we're going to move on to psychology. This slide explores leadership and the subject of interest for psychological theorists to examine it from a comprehensive perspective, exploring patterns within and beyond the formal leadership position. According to the integrated psychology theory of leadership, successful leaders have an impact on 3 levels, which are public, private, and personal. Lay, et al. 2014, affirms that psychologists holistically utilize many characteristic traits within leadership styles to integrate purpose and patterns. Psychologists can utilize as a tool for other leaders to aid them in becoming better leaders, as psychology explores the nature of human behaviors, which on the next few slides we'll go into that a little bit deeper. The similarities between psychologists, management, and leaders are have a role of guidance they must give to those they lead, and must understand some basics of human behavior. The primary differences that can be seen between the psychological style of leadership and that of management is through the direction of those whom they lead. For example, psychologists make a different inferences based on their research and analyze knowledge, giving recommendations, whereas management roles do not rely on research or analysis of behavior in association with leadership, as they solely oversee and carry out informed decisions. Information that management is gathered from higher sources, such as those employed by which is what they must carry out. The act of leadership transcends formal and informal environments. It requires individuals to possess self-knowledge, self-control, self-motivation in order to motivate and influence others effectively. By understanding themselves and their followers, Endocosis et al. 2017 affirm that the nature of leadership is to unite other individuals and is critical role for the motivation in other individuals' lives. The act of leadership is a psychological phenomenon that can manifest in both formal and informal environments. It entails the leader and their followers motivating and influencing one another, necessitating a grasp of self-knowledge, self-control, and self-motivation, all of which are psychological principles. The similarities between leaders and psychologists are that they can navigate situations and people diligently in all aspects of life, including personal, private, and public settings. And that is how they correlate into similarities and differences in the various approaches used in psychology. Now we're going to explore how researching the area of leadership evolution can reshape the view of psychology in leadership. Psychology is crucial in enhancing leadership comprehension of human behavior and their surroundings, empowering them to become more proficient in their leadership roles. Contrary to popular belief, exceptional leaders are not simply born. Instead, one can acquire the skills necessary to become an outstanding leader by delving into behavior traits and personal attributes. Lord et al. 2017 surmised that one of the key benefits of studying psychology for leaders is that it helps them understand their team members' motivations and needs. Leaders can create a work environment conducive to productivity and success, to understanding what drives people. That is an important aspect in relation to understanding human behaviorism as a psychologist. Researching psychological aspects can shape leadership abilities and styles, a predictor of behavior. If one can predict someone's behavior and the causation, they can further develop plans necessary in redirection, thus leading through a more profound sense of purpose and knowledge. Effective leadership necessitates a deep understanding of psychology and the ability to apply that knowledge. Charismatic and transformational leadership theories are based on the belief that a powerful connection exists between followers and the charismatic leader, motivating followers to go above and beyond to accomplish shared objectives and goals. Understanding human behavior. If one understands the basis of human behavior, one can begin to communicate more efficiently. Having effective communication will help human relations build strength, which is a necessary component of leadership. Bearhart et al. 2017 affirmed that human behavior dictates the way one leads as a person, therefore further understanding of human behavior can heighten the state of self-awareness, which is a psychological aspect that is divulgent onto leadership. Self-knowledge is a crucial aspect of leadership. In formal environments, leaders must have clear understanding of their own values, beliefs, and goals, as well as their strengths and weaknesses. This self-awareness allows them to make informed decisions, delegate tasks efficiently, and align their actions with the personal and organizational values. By understanding themselves, leaders can also better understand the needs and motivations of their followers, enabling them to tailor their leadership approach to maximize engagement and productivity. And that is the conclusion and follow-up and end of our presentation on the evolution of leadership theories and how they coincide with psychological aspects. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and take care, class.